Can the Seattle Seahawks really snag a game-changing superstar at pick 32? Could this one draft move completely reshape their offense and special teams? And most importantly, are we about to witness a player that fans will talk about for years? You're about to find out. But before we dive in, smash that like button, share this video with your fellow Seahawks fans, and hit subscribe so you never miss the latest updates on Seattle's future stars. Alright, let's jump straight into it. There's been endless chatter about whether John Schneider will actually stick with pick number 32 or trade down for more draft capital. That's often his style, maximizing value and stocking up on assets. I get that. But here's the twist. If a player shows up that he absolutely doesn't want to miss, the Seahawks could very well make a bold move right at the end of the first round. Daniel Jeremiah, one of the most respected analysts in the league, has hinted at a pick that might surprise even die-hard Seahawks fans. It's not a position the team desperately needs right now, and many mocks had this player going much higher. Yet, the potential upside is undeniable. Now, who exactly are we talking about? I'll get to that shortly, but before I do, let me ask you this. If you were in Schneider's shoes, would you trade down for more picks or go all in for a player who could be a future superstar? Think about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Daniel Jeremiah believes the Seahawks are eyeing Casey Concepcion, a speedster from Texas A&M who lit up the field with his blazing pace and ability to create separation. On paper, it might seem odd. Why draft another wide receiver when Rashid Shaheed could return? Or when Torrey Horton is already showing promise? But here's the thing, Concepcion isn't just fast. He's explosive, versatile, and potentially the perfect fit for what Mike McDaniel and Schneider envision. Even if Shaheed returns, having Concepcion adds depth, flexibility, and an insurance policy against injuries that could derail the Seahawks season. At first glance, it might seem unnecessary. The Seahawks could use help elsewhere. Cornerback, edge rusher, or even interior offensive line. But then I looked closer at Concepcion's film, his statistics, and his overall football IQ, and I started to see why this could be a masterstroke. His speed isn't just raw, it's intelligent speed. He knows how to read defenses, find seams, and use his acceleration to turn short catches into explosive plays. Think Tyler Lockett, think Doug Baldwin, think Jermaine Kearse. Small receivers have thrived in Seattle, and Concepcion could easily join that lineage. Let's talk Rashid Shaheed for a moment. He's coming off a season that started hot but tapered in Seattle. Some of that was New Orleans using him to boost trade value. Some of that was chemistry with Sam Darnold needing time to develop. If Seattle can lock Shaheed in, great. But there's no guarantee he'll sign at the price the Seahawks want. And even if he does, what happens if he suffers an injury or underperforms? Concepcion could fill that void immediately. Look at what Shaheed did last season. Multiple punt returns that changed games single-handedly. Atlanta, the Rams, even the divisional matchup against San Francisco. Teams will pay a premium for that kind of talent, and the Seahawks might need a backup plan. So here's question of the day for you. Do you think Rashid Shaheed will stay in Seattle in 2026? Yes or no? Comment below and be honest, because your opinion matters in this debate. Now let's examine Torrey Horton, another potential factor in this equation. Horton has insane explosiveness and big play potential. He's contributed on special teams, returned punts for touchdowns, and made a real impact when healthy. But there's a caveat. Injuries have limited his availability, both in college at Colorado State and now in Seattle. That's where Concepcion shines. Drafting him provides insurance, not just for the wide receiver room, but for the Seahawks' entire special teams unit. Multiple players capable of returning punts and kicks gives Mike McDaniel a tactical advantage, whether it's covering injuries or simply creating matchup nightmares for opponents. Next, let's highlight why Concepcion's skill set makes him an ideal Seahawks pick. First, he's a proven performer. Despite not always having elite quarterback play in college, he posted nearly 1,000 yards in a single season with 9 touchdowns. Over his college career, he's amassed more than 2,000 receiving yards and over 25 touchdowns. That's consistency, production, and a nose for the end zone, exactly the kind of player Seattle needs. But it's not just about stats. Concepcion knows how to get open, uses his speed intelligently, and can operate in multiple roles. Slot, outside, deep threat, he can do it all. His versatility is amplified by his potential as a special teams weapon. Every successful Seahawks receiver in recent history has contributed on special teams, and Concepcion is no different. He can be a gunner, a returner, and an offensive weapon, all in one package. That's the kind of player who can immediately impact multiple phases of the game. Here's another thought. What if the Seahawks choose not to splurge in free agency this offseason because they know they're about to draft a dynamo like Concepcion? It's strategic, it's calculated, and it's exactly the type of move Schneider loves to make. Building a roster that wins multiple Super Bowls requires foresight, depth, and players who can deliver in high-pressure moments. Concepcion could be the missing piece to a lineup that already has a strong defense and an evolving offense under Brian Fleury. And speaking of offense, don't underestimate what adding a player like Concepcion does for the chemistry and dynamics with Darnold and other receivers. Speed, route-running intelligence, and special teams contribution all translate to more opportunities for explosive plays. This is the kind of player who elevates everyone around him, making the Seahawks' offense more unpredictable and dangerous. So, let's recap why drafting Casey Concepcion makes sense. Shaheed insurance? If Rashid doesn't return or struggles, Concepcion fills the gap immediately. Torrey Horton backup adds depth in case injuries limit Horton's availability. Elite speed and route running, small but explosive, fits the Seahawks' history of successful receivers. Special teams weapon, punt returner, kick returner, gunner, adds value beyond offense. Immediate impact, college production shows he can contribute from day one. Strategic draft play allows Seahawks to invest elsewhere while still upgrading talent. Every indicator suggests that Concepcion could be an overlooked gem at pick 32, a player who changes games in multiple ways. Daniel Jeremiah might just be right. This isn't a conventional pick, but sometimes unconventional picks yield the biggest rewards. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you one last time. Should the Seahawks draft Casey Concepcion at 32? Yes or no? Make your voice heard in the comments, and remember, there are no wrong answers here. Just your honest take. Finally, if you're new to the channel or haven't hit subscribe yet, now's the time. Share this video with friends who bleed blue and green, and let's grow the Seahawks Today family bigger and louder than ever. This is the discussion, the breakdown, and the analysis you won't find anywhere else. Stay tuned because the draft is coming, and things are about to get wild.